was the first warning. Calm down a second.
Gotta flash the lights.
All right, welcome this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to call to order the regular scheduled meeting for the Harrison County Board of Education, Tuesday, April 1st. As a rule, we generally do the presentations first, but today we thought we would make the presentations last. So we're going to go through all our general business first, and then everyone can sit and watch that, and then we'll do the presentations, right? That's up.
Yeah, government action.
All right. All right, we'll get everybody first. So first off, let's start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Stand for the pledge. Parker, would you lead us in the pledge? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. All right. First, we have this evening National Board Certified Teachers for 2024. Dr. Santilli will be presenting.
We're really proud of the cohort we have in Harrison County, and we actually draw people from other counties to participate in our cohort too. And first, I would like to introduce Stephanie Cochran. She is I said Cochran. I am so sorry, Stephanie, but if you could come forward, she's our fearless leader. This is Stephanie Runyon. And also with us, we have Dr. Bridget Phillips from the State Department, if she could come forward. She has been an amazing supporter of us, and I'm going to let her say a few things.
Good evening. Thank you all for allowing me a few minutes. I promise it'll just be a few minutes to speak about National Board. My name is Dr. Bridget Phillips, and I work with the West Virginia Department of Education in the Office of Educator Prep, and I oversee everything related to National Board for the state. I want to first thank the board. Thanks to Dr. Santilli and Superintendent Steller for inviting me to be here as part of this wonderful celebration for our National Board teachers. I'm very honored to be here tonight. I'll probably say this more than once, but this is the favorite part of my job because I'm always constantly surrounded by excellent educators. And this is something that West Virginia does for teachers that's a very positive thing. For those of you that are not familiar with National Board certification, the honorees that are here tonight have completed their initial National Board certification, or there are several that have completed what's called maintenance of certification. So once you certify, you have to certify every 5 years. They have put hundreds of hours of dedication and work into this process. In fact, research shows that your initial certification can take anywhere between 200 and 400 hours of work, which is a huge commitment on the part of these teachers. And they do it for all of you sitting in the room here, all their students. It's such an honor to be here because their commitment along with their family, and I know when I went through this process, my children were small, it takes not just the teacher, but it takes a support. And so I want to thank the families as well. That is a huge part of being successful for National Board. I want to thank Stephanie Runyon. She does an excellent job, and Harrison County has a really strong cohort. You ought to be very proud because this is not typical of some counties. Some counties don't even recognize National Board. So to have this every year and to honor your teachers, it's just a wonderful celebration for them. So I want to really just extend my thank you to the honorees tonight for all of their hard work and dedication. It's commendable. You can't even imagine how hard it is. I'm sure all of you have cried once or twice through the process. I know I did. And but you also have this wonderful, wonderful support system. West Virginia, as you all know, sometimes are not the most supportive of teachers, but this is all supported by the legislature, believe it or not, and the Board of Ed and the department. So we do support teachers to a point that West Virginia is actually ranked 11th in the nation for National Board Certified Teachers, like per capita, the number, that's great. The state provides financial benefits for teachers that become National Board Certified. And I'm sure if you ask everyone in here that went through this process, that's what kind of draws you in. But I'm telling you, it's so much more. It's such a great, reflective, professional learning. It was the best that I've ever been through. And I'm sure everybody in this room who's National Board Certified will say the same. I do want to encourage you to go back to your schools or find teachers in the county and encourage them to go through their process, because we really do have a lot of support here in Harrison County for the cohorts. So being part of this, like I said, is really, it just makes me so happy to be here and to be able to honor everybody that has gone through this process. So I just want to thank you once again for allowing me a few minutes to speak. And please, if you ever have any questions about National Board Certification, please reach out to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You should know that only about 4% of teachers in the nation have achieved this honor. And there is a pile of evidence that shows students who are with a nationally board certified teacher are usually 3 to 4 months ahead in achievement. So the blood, sweat, and tears, and she talked about tears, there's cussing too. And sometimes when I'm mentoring, I get cussed too because I'm challenging the candidates. But we really do appreciate the villages surrounding the teachers that have achieved this. We could not do it without our villages. So without further ado, we're going to honor our 3 brand new nationally board certified teachers. And our first one is Sonia Lemney from Simpson. Make sure I get the right one. So, and you should know, okay, it slid, sorry. It looked good at the beginning. But anyway, you should know that these adjectives come from all of your colleagues and your administrators. And so we made a word cloud for you. Yeah. And then there's some other designs too, if you want to change it out. And maybe take it. You're welcome. And congratulations.
Stay up there.
Oh, okay, you need to get pictures.
Just go ahead. Yep, just hang out up there. We'll get a group picture.
Next, we have Isabella Pheasant, who's also. Okay, they all moved. Yes, and of course, you know the words that are bigger, that means they were said more than once. Congratulations. And last but not least, Amy Straley from Johnson. Well, yours didn't move as much. So congratulations. Thank you. Got to have your decorative bag.
That's right.
Okay. So our next group are called our maintenance of certifications. Oh, you go ahead and take the pictures. I'll wait.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to get in with this. We'll get 2 sets of pictures.
Dora, did you want to come down? Yeah, if the administrators are here, come on down. We'll have a party. Yeah, and there is a reception to follow up in the steam room. Yeah, do you want to say anything?
No, do we stay here? Or do we go?
Okay.
You have my permission.
That's the difference between elementary and secondary teachers. Secondary would have already gone. Okay, so our maintenance or certification teachers are the ones that have decided to go through this again. The process isn't as grueling. Of course, you know a lot more, but basically it's to prove that, well, you got this certification, what have you done with it? And you have to prove that you've actually used what you've learned. So we're really proud to introduce first Kathy Cox from Bridgeport High School. Okay, and got to speak first time. She's one of my candidates. And we have made them a little nameplate that they can put outside the door so everybody knows that they're nationally board certified. Next, we have Amanda Harris. We'll make sure we get that to her. Katie Jadrowsko from Cincinnati. Congratulations. And if you're counting, that's 3 so far for Simpson tonight. And second for Johnson Elementary, we have Bethany Kulchak. Congratulations. And next, we have a principal. And it's really interesting when principals do this because, you know, they don't have a classroom, so they have to actually borrow a classroom. And it's a lot, but they're still doing the principal job. So we're really pleased to honor Jennifer Oliverio from Nutter Fort Our next teacher couldn't be here, but she is from Bridgeport High School also. That is Kelly Shuttleworth. Is Laura Trent here? I think she couldn't make it. She's here. She's here. Oh, Laura, come on down. Okay, so now, something you should know about Laura, not only is she an administrator and is dedicated to this, she is a trendsetter. She is our first nationally board certified teacher to do her maintenance 2 times. That's how dedicated. And finally, we are so proud to honor Jennifer Sycophus from Nutter Fort Primary. Okay, next photo. Yeah.
I'd like to.
If we love you, can I hold your picture? Yeah, no, that's okay. I'll just, thank you. I mean, thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Next, on the special recognition presentations, we have Grant Shriver from Bridgeport High School.
I think I saw your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Grant is being recognized tonight, and I think we have the administrative team here from Bridgeport High. Sitting there, we have.
Hi, Grant.
There you go. Mrs. Matthews and Mr. Sears and any others. This certificate of achievement is for the Harrison County Board of Education honoring Grant Shriver of Bridgeport High School for representing West Virginia at the 2025 Microsoft Office Specialist U.S. National Championship. April 1st, 2025, it's presented to you by the Harrison County Board of Education, and it's by the board members right here. Saying congratulations.
Congratulations.
How did you get that? What did you have to do?
In one of the classes, I had to take some Microsoft tests, and I got there were tests where you do perform tasks on these Microsoft programs like Word, PowerPoint, and I was able to get here because I scored the highest out of all of my classmates.
Wow, exciting. girls, did you have quite a few from Bridgeport High that participated?
Oh, yes, we
Yeah,
did.
we had quite a few, but he came out on top, got high scores, Mom and Dad.
In the state.
In the state.
In the state.
Number
It
one.
wasn't just our school, it was in the
Right.
state. Yes.
Where's the national championship?
Dallas.
Down. Nice. All right. Did you get a picture? Do you want to come up, Mom and Dad? Yeah.
Get a nice group.
I'm trying to get used to the beard.
I know.
I saw him when he was this big.
I know.
I'll get on this side. Okay. Let's see. Let's see.
Next, we have the Washington Irving Middle School boys basketball. They are the Mid-Mountain 10 Athletic Conference basketball champions.
What if I read the names? Then we can do that. By the way, I love the outfit. Looks great. We'll just start, go down the list. Mr. Hood will give you a certificate. He'll come up and we'll get a good picture at the end. Do we have administrators here from WIS? Ah, she's in the back. Mrs. Farrell's back there. Congratulations. Sure, Mr. Hood would like to say something.
You know, through the years, I've saw a lot of basketball and involved in a lot of basketball. And I would state tournaments, you know, was down there all week, and we have champions coming from there. We have the champions coming from the cheerleading. We have from everywhere. This group from Washington Irving Middle School is a special group, and the fact is that they are the last group at Washington Irving, you know, and so this is something that they probably don't think a whole lot about right now, but 20 years from now and as they start marrying, having children, they'll say, well, I was on the last championship team that came out of Washington Irving. So I think that they have every right to be very proud. The coaches did an excellent job, and, you know, people didn't give them a lot of chance this year. New head coach, same assistant, and
He said the oldest assistant.
and the old assistant.
I said it out loud.
Randy played for me in 1982, and we left it on the floor
Oh, yeah, he really ate it.
at the regional. That would be by far the best team in the state, but we came up a little bit short, and I blamed it on my assistant coach. And- But I tell you what, these young men, I went and watched them, and it was so exciting. It's like watching the NCAA come right down to the end, and come down to one last shot, and then it came down to one time that had to defend, and we thought for a minute that that shot was gonna go. It didn't. When the smoke cleared, Washington Irving Middle School were the champs. And so,
Comes
very
full
proud of
circle,
it.
though.
Full
Full
circle,
circle.
full circle.
I'm really gonna age you. I was in high school. Because we're picking them, right? All right, let's start. We're getting their certificates. We have Landon Hawkins. Next, we have Parker Ferris. Luke Riley. Kale West. Jacoby Magruder. Elijah Anna Holmes. Bryson LeVake. Titan Boyce. Malachi Rockhead. Mason Kingston. They're busy. Ian Barksdale. D'Anthony Marazzi. Will Perkins. Hayden Groves. Byron Holyfield. Isaiah Singleton. Landon Winkler. Lennox Curran. Abraham Morris. And then our head coach is here, DJ Burke. And then our assistant coach is Randy Barr. Thank you all for bringing the kids here. It's a big honor.
Two lines.
See, Park.
Gotta get him. Please come over. You just tell me where to go. That's what he normally does. Let's give WI another big hand. Thank you.
All right, our next special recognition and presentation is Bridgeport High School boys and girls swim teams for winning states as well.
First, our seniors, Kira Gasol.
I know your dad is a professor at Glenville. I saw you when you were 7 at Glenville, yes. I just recognized the name.
Gretchen Lack. Amelia Romano. Lauren Sutphin. If I mispronounce anything, I apologize. What's Sutphin? Well, Spanish teacher, so I, you know. Okay, Olivia Sweeney. You can go. Unless you're really interested. Oh, hey, Landon forgot his. All right, Addison Tharp. Caitlin Wagner. Carter Zuliani. All right, how do you say it?
You got it.
I think it's okay, good job. Yippee. Okay, our juniors, James Hadges. Jacob Keener. Did you get better times than your brother? Anderson Mitchell. Zach Nicholson.
The certificates match their outfits.
We went whitewater rafting, but I did not get out of the boat because I knew I wasn't getting back in. Okay, Cole Parsons.
Thank you.
Jason Wood. Sophomores, Nate Dodson. Patrick Hammond. Kennedy Marsh. Leroy Saul. Emma Ahmed. Ethan Sutphin. And I forgot Owen Guthrie, sorry.
These are all the ones that went to states.
Oh, okay.
They can come up with the other picture.
Come on up.
They should come up with the other picture.
Good job supporting your teammates. Okay, and our coaches, Jan Bristow. Wendy Madden.
Hey, coaches.
And Kimberly Moore. And if our principals could please stand.
That's right.
Sorry,
thank
guys.
you, Sam.
I'm gonna need your all's help. This is too.
No one-
I need a bunch of people to come over here kneeling. I need some people to come forward, or you guys to come here and kneel. Kneel in front, please. Go ahead, kneel. Need more people, guys. Come on.
Hey, David, do you bring it more?
Guys, it's too big. Come on. I need more. I need more people. Need more. Okay, now. If somebody wants to sit crisscross applesauce, that'd be great.
Like I said.
Very much better.
And Owen, we will be getting you your certificate.
Just put your head back. I got everyone but you. Thank you, guys.
All right, state champs, good job.
That's right.
All right. Congratulations. Next, we have the Bridgeport High School boys basketball team, state champions.
Yes. Your classmates didn't even stay to watch you get your certificates. They're like, scooped out. That's a school. It's a school night, that's right. That's funny. We want to start? We can start. This is the Bridgeport High School boys basketball team winning the state championship, so congratulations. We're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to recognize the coaches. They're on the bottom because it's first on my list. Head coach is Dave Marshall. Congratulations. Then we have assistant coaches Grant Burton. Bo Kessler. Is he here? All right. So now we'll start with the young men. We have Landon Sanders. Donovan Williams. Aaron Dodd. Is it Ariel? Ariel, sorry. Phoenix Sickles.
Thank you.
Here you go. I said I was watching the game, he got hit in the nose. When I was watching him, it was a hard hit. But he just kept playing. He just kept playing. Gavin Williams. Congratulations. Jax McDougal. Samuel Romano. Jack Spatafor. Arthur Zulian.
He must be tired.
Congratulations. No. Okay.
I don't think he's going to have enough fingers for the rings.
Anderson McDougal. Jacob Holcomb. Grayson Church. Trick. Jalen Brown. And Evan Kidd. Congratulations. I tell you what, you boys will go a long way. I shook all their hands and they were really hot, nice handshakes. Like strong, you guys have got it made now moving forward. So, congratulations to the Bridgeport basketball state champions. I think the admins need to be, they were up here with the others.
Actually, let's put a couple of your tallest in the back on that riser, like 3 in the back. And then we'll bring coaches forward. You guys can come in.
I'm too short.
Are you, Aaron?
There's not enough room.
They're squeezing us in.
There you go.
It actually is.
I'll send you one out.
Guys, look here.
All right.
Good job.
Congratulations. Now, for those of you who have made it this far, we have a special treat for all of you. Next, we have our 2024 audit report. So
It'll be thrilling.
that's our next, that's
Very
our next big
exciting.
item on the agenda. You're more than welcome to stay.
Thank you. Oh, this is my stuff. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Collins? It's all right over there.
The celebrations continue.
That's right.
Good evening.
Go see her. I don't know anything about her pictures. Oh. Wow, I'll be on the good side, but she's real sweet.
We have the digital image of the audit report that's already been uploaded to the state auditor's website, submitted to the Federal Audit Clearinghouse, and submitted to Bank of America in accordance with our lease agreements. And the printed ones should be arriving any day, and you'll each get one of those. So we have a clean, unmodified audit report. We have one audit finding, which is the segregation of duties with the schools. We believe it will be resolved as of June 30th, 2024, but that's when we started implementing the procedures. So on the 25, we hope that that one goes away. So really what we have in front of you is the management letter report, in which is some additional things that need to be addressed. The one is our inventories. Inventories are required to be physically counted, and any perpetual records are to be adjusted in at least annually, but actually throughout the year. So we've got a little bit of work to do on one area of those. And then the second one is depository collateral, which actually impacts UTC, their school account. It's not really on Harrison County, but since we're the fiscal agent, it is a mandatory point. So the good news continues.
Yes. No major findings?
No, just segregation of duties was the only finding, and that's with the schools, and we hope to have it resolved with the 25 audit.
Anybody have any questions?
You said they'll get hard copies.
They will get hard copies, they're being printed and being shipped up.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for all your hard work and your staff as well. This is very good, it's gone a long way.
Well, I appreciate that, but it's not just myself and my team, because actually a strong financial organization, it starts at the top with the board members, and then every department plays a piece in it, so to make sure they're following policies and procedures for the proper authorization of purchase orders before they order all of those pieces, and budgeting. It all starts with that. You'll see it again on budget soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
When they say inventory, what are they talking about?
Okay, so like we have child nutrition inventories for the food, we have maintenance has some stock supplies, we have custodial supplies, we have transportation parts, that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
They were here.
Any other questions?
They were here a long time. We had some of the girls pulled lots of invoices for them, yes, they did.
I think that they're a little more
Oh, my.
particular with a lot of
They
financial
asked
audits
to
they've been
use
doing
the
lately.
office there offline. It was weeks.
Okay. All right, next we have a delegation. Dr. Looker and Mr. Harrod.
I was actually going to clap for Mrs. Kynes there. I've been clapping for the last 35 minutes. Sorry. Wasn't sure if that was appropriate or not.
Okay. You know what? I'm sorry, this is not a delegation, this is a presentation.
Yeah.
as it really is.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So I'm Jamie Lindbergh, principal at Robert Square High School, Mr. Herron, principal at Liberty High School. We just wanted to take a minute. Those of you that have been in our school know that we have an area dedicated to highlight Washington Irving and their memorabilia and athletic accomplishments, as well as Roosevelt Wilson. So we did not have a specific room for Liberty High School and their memorabilia and trophies to come over. We received a quote on some custom-made trophy cases that we would we got some different quotes, but the custom-made trophy cases that we're proposing to purchase would be in our Eagle lobby. You have the Eagle, they would match the current trophy cases, but be on each side of the Eagle, larger, a little more substantial to highlight Liberty's accomplishments. So we were asking the board to match or help with possible contingency funds for that purchase. The purchase quote that we got was $12,750. We do have some funds to help assist with that. But I'll be able to come to you all and see if you were able to assist with
Okay. Typically, we ask that we split it half, we do half. And I don't see why, if there's any objection, we can't have you meet with Superintendent Stutler and work it out so that she can put it on our next agenda.
What is the total on there?
12,000.
That's the whole total,
it. It is,
doing all of the.
Correct.
My
They are
question-
pretty. It's the-
My question is, well, I know where the Roosevelt Wilson memorabilia
yes,
in Washington Irving, if it's still the same place.
yes.
And what about Robert C. Burger, where is all your, isn't that?
It's the next room down in our signing room.
Right,
Yes.
okay, you made it so. But now, you want to take Liberties and put, clear down on the other end of the hall.
Yeah, that's where the space is available and more people will see it highlighted. Because more people are in that area, because it's right outside the gym.
So there's no other area to try and put theirs that would be close.
Not really, that wouldn't cost $1 zillion and a lot of construction.
Well, I always thought right where you start down the hallway towards the secretaries, there's always an area right there about there. I just thought that would be an idea.
I don't think there would be enough space there.
What's that?
I don't think there would be enough space there, and then we may end up putting some offices there.
We'll be collecting our items and things of that nature to make sure it fits within, we're already in the process of that. So, and I know we talked about it, we'll pay the half of what we need to pay, on our end. And so we really appreciate it. It'll be good for the community. I think it'll be a good bridge.
Definitely want to highlight.
Absolutely.
Jared, you say Liberty's paying to have?
We can do that. We have money to be able to do that through our athletic program. I think since we're going to be highlighting our athletics and some of the history of the school, like we have right now, we have a picture of our first three principals, 50 Mrs. Knight picture, and I'm kind of not going to give my picture to them, but I will eventually. But I think those things are good just to show the history of the school. It's going to be a lot of athletics, but we'll have some of our students that maybe were like presidential scholars or merit scholars, things that we can highlight some of the academic achievements too. So we'll kind of put it all in there together just to kind of people when they show up. And we're going to move our pictures. We have some state championship pictures and some things that Mr. Post came up with a great place to put them where people will be able to see some of the accomplishments. Like they're large pictures, so we're going to haul those over and just so people who come in can kind of see what Liberty was and kind of remember those pieces. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, thank you very much. All right, this will bring us to our. Okay, superintendent's update.
Sure. I want to start by saying thank you to the Columbian Club. We got to recognize our all team football, and some of them were here tonight. They're doing all kinds of things. And it's such a nice banquet. If you were able to come, I know some of you were busy, but it just was really a nice banquet this year. We had Rich Rodriguez there, and I think he did well by speaking to the boys, and it flowed. It was a nice event, and I appreciate it. I want to say thank you to Todd and Caitlin, because they do a lot of work behind the
It was
scenes,
very nice.
getting all of that stuff ready, and the dinner and all of it. So that was on a Monday evening. And also to our professional development group, teachers, it's our CE council for PD, and they put together the Jerry Brooks event at Robert C. Byrd, and it was phenomenal. I went over just for a little bit and ended up staying for the whole thing. It was 2 hours of fun, and I've gotten a lot of great comments from the staff that attended. It said they really felt like one in that building, and I think that's what you want to feel like we were all on the same team. And trust me, if you ever listen to him, it's like some of the things that you say, it hits right. I mean, there was nothing you couldn't identify with if you were in any school, and I think that's why he was such a success. So thank you for putting that together. Julie leads that group, and we've got some really great teachers and staff on that group, and they're wanting to do more things like that, and I think that's what we're going to look at in the future. It's a lot of coordination and, expense, but I think it was well worth it, so thank you for that. Also, I wanted to let you know that we'll go into facilities. Mr. Lopez can give an update. We did submitted on Friday for a major improvement grant. We're trying to finish our secure entrances. So we have a couple left to finish up. So this one will be for Bridgeport Middle. So we'll have to work on a design, but we're just now submitting for the funding for that. It was actually due, I think it's due in Charleston on Friday. We usually are turning that in on the day of, but we got it turned in and it'll be there. So we'll wait to hear. We'll have to go down and present to ask for that, but it's just hard not to go unless there's money available. So we'll see how that goes. And then I believe Bridgeport High, we're going to do in-house. We have a plan to do in-house, so that should cover our 22 facilities with secure entrances. And speaking of safety, we did get an additional set of weapon detectors. We worked with Whitney and Jason. They needed another set so we could keep other sets stationary in the schools. And we're working on a plan on how to use those more daily. How can we man those? Using our pro officer, because they do take time if you have somebody stationed there, so we're looking at a plan for that for next year, so we're trying to enhance our safety. And I think, Todd, our ROC server for our rank 1 equipment, was it installed? I know they were here and coming.
We got it done last Tuesday.
Well, okay, I saw that on the schedule and I knew they were going to be here, so that's really moving along, and I think we probably will do an update to you all on how that equipment is working and where it's all installed. I think we need an update on exactly where that's at. So, because it was expensive software, we want to make sure that it's working. But I think that put a server in, correct? Like your own server? Is that what that was?
That's the big piece. And
Yeah.
We're gonna meet again, to, look at cameras, and that's just a matter of adding cameras to the
Okay.
system.
And Mr. Lopez, you want to give us the facilities update?
Yeah, just real quick, while we're talking about safe school entrances, we're working on 2 of them now, and they're going extremely well down here in middle school in Robert C. Byrd. They're on target to meet the substantial completion date, and Liberty has been designed, their safe school entry, and that along with their renovations will be bid out in May. So we'll see some progress on that soon. The substantial completion date of July 12th is still firm with the Meadowport project. It is going extremely well. All the metal is on the roof now, and they're actually putting the roof on and hopefully get it tied in. And that will go fairly quick after that. So we've got electricians, plumbers, all those intricate utilities coming in now. So roughing in a lot of the electricity. So there's a lot of good progress on that. Simpson, that it's been a challenge. We've hit some glitches, but it's going to be a very nice addition. The last little bump in the road that we hit was some of the soil compaction. Some of the soil was soft in one section. They poured 3 pours of the footings. There was one section that is closer to Center Street, the wall that would run parallel to Center Street. It had an old foundation in it, so they had to over excavate that, pull that out, and put in some new soil and material in. So we think that as it dries out, the other soft soil will be fine. And this isn't complete, it's not something that you want to run into, but it's not uncommon for contractors to run into these type of glitches. It just costs you a little bit more time. I did get, today I talked to Emma Gwaltney from McKinley, and she was able to work with Lombardi, and I think we're looking at October 12th as a substantial completion date. However, with the soil compaction, that will add a little bit of time to it and probably money for the materials and things like that. So the goal is to have it finished by November 1st. That's the goal. And so we can get those, hopefully get the school, everybody moved in there over Thanksgiving. We're all here. So, but that's pretty much my report this evening.
I think, because those projects are under budget, I think we probably will have the money to cover that. If there's too much with the
Yeah, I think
foundation.
we have money in
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
we should be okay with the contingency money that we do have.
Because they did come in.
We really haven't got into a lot of costs. It's cost us more time than it has anything. But the road is,
Well, let's hope the weather stays nice, because then you'll see progress. Weather stays.
What did you say the date was or the timeframe was to get for the renovations for?
well, we're hoping early May.
Early May for Liberty, early August.
Yeah, they want to start the work just as soon as
Yeah,
school's
school
out.
starts. Yeah, that's what I was-
That'll be specified in the bid. We try to get that timeline.
We've tried to get in and do some things without much disruption.
Yeah,
But anytime you're in a building trying to get any kind of work done, I mean, we did the same thing with the Burger, we got in and, did some renovations at the time. We're trying to do that at Liberty without disrupting their day-to-day.
I just want to make sure we're not doing any disruption for classes. There's nothing going on right now.
I talked to Mr. Harrod and he was, because I saw some questions about that. And I talked to Mr. Harrod specifically and worked with Chad, our maintenance director. And so they have other areas that they can designate. They're not displacing anyone. And some of that modification was already made in the library too. Those rooms are complete. There's always going to be contention when you do that. But anytime you're going additions or renovations, a lot of times those happen during the school year, just like Simpson. And it does cause a little bit of a disruption, but everyone's being very cautious and informative and not just displacing teachers and classrooms. That's not something that we would want to do.
I got a question in regard, I keep getting telephone calls from people from the schools because of spring sports are going on. And they cannot figure out why their teams cannot get a bus. Their parents have to leave work and everything. I know you've contacted the administrators and the athletic directors from Allen County, and they're totally ignoring it. The fact is, we're not getting buses to take these kids to these ball games. And they have to find their own rides, parents have to leave work. And I think that, I think there's something has to be done.
I think what we have to do first, Mr. Hogan, is keep the kids home from school. And that's really where the conflict is we have to first make sure that we're able to get our kids home from school. And a lot of times those games in contests start before the buses are back from, returning from their. So now we have, on occasion, we can, is take kids and drop them off at the event, come back to our afternoon runs, and then go back and pick them up. It's not the best case scenario, but that's happening throughout the state.
Okay, what about the situation where I always in the past is, you know, I got this run, I got the team that's going out of county. That bus driver, right, takes them, and then we put a substitute driver on a substitute bus to take the rest of his run. Why can that not be done?
Well, if we have enough substitutes, the problem is we don't have enough substitutes to guarantee that that's gonna happen. So, you know, you have, with 93 bus runs, we have people off that are sick and different things, and then you have day-to-day calls. If we go ahead and would start doing that, say we have 5 schools we're gonna do that for, and we say, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, we schedule it, then that particular day, we have several people that are calling off, and now we can't get all the kids home from school, now we're in a real dilemma. And that's really truly where the problem lies. And it's been like that for the last several years, probably 15 years or so. And I know that it is an inconvenience, but that's throughout the state, these are the same problems that we're faced with.
Then something has to be looked at about scheduling, you know.
If they can schedule so that they can leave at 3:45 to 4 o'clock, then we're okay. It's when they have an event that is going to start and they need to leave at 3 o'clock or 3:30, that's when we run into that dilemma.
The ADs usually schedule those events, correct? They all work together, maybe we should check with the ADs.
The track meets is where it's tough, because you need to get those track meets started where they last. Yeah.
Those
So,
things-
baseball, if you have lights that the facility playing in, the baseball, you can move those so that, the teams can leave at, say, 4 o'clock, and depending on where it's located in the state. But and I know it's an inconvenience, I wish we had, plethora of substitute drivers, but we're very fortunate to have the amount of drivers we do have. It'd be better if we had more.
Play devil advocate, one accident where a child gets killed because there was somebody else, and, and then the parents are gonna come back on the county.
Well, that's where we have chaperones. We're chaperoned by the board that is only allowed to transport those students. Students are not allowed to drive out of county. That's all dictated by the school and by the administration. Those are approved by the Board of Education. And only those people were allowed to transport those students to those contests.
I agree with you, Mr. Hogue, but I think the compromise, in my opinion, would be push, and maybe not the case of track, but push some of the games back a little bit. Or bring them forward so that they can.
Schedule them on Saturday.
That's what compromise, you can do something like that. Because actually, I mean, we're in the academic business.
Right.
And so this is extracurricular, without a doubt. But at the same time, the scheduling is it. I mean, I know if you're going to Elkins, you still have to work out those schedules with those other teams.
Right.
And say, hey, we don't have the drivers. They have to have the same problems too, whenever they're going. So it's a catch.
I don't know that there's a whole lot we can do about it this season for baseball and track. Schedules are already made. But maybe next season.
See, this has been going on over the last 2 or 3 years, where they ignore the memo to, that's sent out to them about, transportation and scheduling and stuff like that. And there has to be some kind of consequence, if nothing else, to the athletic director and the coaches. They need to be sit down and say, hey, we're going to help you make your schedule, and when you're going to play your games. Because otherwise, they just do as they damn well please, And like I said, I coached a lot of years, he coached a lot of years. Our kids didn't drive, but we didn't have to have our parents drive me, And we went to Central Preston and all these other places, and, it worked out. I mean, they, you know, bus drivers, they worked it out where the guy took that job and a substitute drove the rest of the kids home. And then if there wasn't enough, then the other kids would wait at school and get picked up after the others and drop them off. You know, drop off one group, back and pick up the next. Takes a little planning, and takes a little, you know,
But you have to have the personnel too.
well, like I said, we keep saying we have extra bus drivers.
No,
Oh,
no,
no, we don't have extra bus drivers.
we haven't for a while.
We have 7 substitutes.
Okay.
And some of them are on long term where we have people off on long term. And then, you know, they, with 93 drivers, you know, you figure if you get 2 or 3 people that call off last minute because they get sick, then you're down to nothing. And I had my bus supervisor driving. I mean, we've been fortunate, we've made every run, but, you know, and if you look at some of the other larger counties like Mon County, on a day-to-day basis, they're not running certain buses. So we feel fortunate for that, but where the dilemma is spring sports. It's really the point of contention. And I understand how important it is for parents to get their kids where they need to be, and it's peace of mind, believe me. I understand that. But what's even going to be worse is if we don't make sure that we get our kids home from school. That's going to be even a bigger problem than getting kids to it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes parents might not leave because they do get on.
A couple of things, can we get an updated, GED list? And then, also, can we get maybe from Jason, I know we're having this THC vape, transport issues. So maybe if we can get like a report from each of the schools, how many actually have a THC vapes with transport?
Yeah.
And then also, I'd like to know, how many times that you've actually done a surprise visit, to those schools when those occurred.
Yeah, I don't know the actual dates.
Right.
I know we've done 3 in the last, 3 weeks. So, where they just go and do a sweep.
Yeah. So if we could get that kind of report.
I know they have all the high school schedules to get in. Yeah.
Question for Whitney. When these schools finally get around selling off the old uniforms and everything, how is that to be handled? Are they to write a check to the school, write a check to the county?
Mrs. Franco is in charge of that. So
Mrs. Fragile.
she's working with them. Coming up with a plan.
Yeah, because I think we talked about that all the time, because it's taxpayer
Right.
money and levy purchases. It has to go through a central location. We figured she would be the right person to do that.
Well,
The ADs are supposed to be, and I think most of them have inventory of what they have. I mean, we still have some seasons still playing.
I understand.
Yeah. So then we'll do let kids come in, buy their uniforms, buy any equipment that's there. At a minimal price. Do you have anything else, Mr. Wilkins?
No.
The facilities? I think that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Next, we have consent items. Is there a motion to accept consent items as presented?
I so move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business, out-of-state leave request and out-of-state travel study request are in front of you. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Old business, dental and vision plan. It is recommended that the revisions to the Harrison County School Self-Insured Dental Plan be accepted as presented. I will say, if you want to put this out for discussion, make the motion and second it, and we'll get it on the floor for discussion.
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Open for discussion. So the question, I think I asked already, we didn't have any dental professionals involved in this or look at this, have we? Have
Then
they?
the plan itself,
Yeah,
no, we have legal look at it.
Okay.
Because the plan is the board's document. And then we would go up, they'll approve it, and we would go up to bid for it.
So where did we get the list of expenses not covered?
Well, that's gonna be worked out with the third party administrator.
No, where did the list come from?
Oh, that was a carryover from our original plan, and there had some things in there that they had ceilings not covered originally, but they were covering them, so I cleaned that up.
Okay.
But most of them, if you look at it, is so expenses not covered, x-rays that's not furnished by a dentist or a medical professional, okay? Why would we?
Well, I was concerned with the claims for accidental injury to teeth.
Okay, so first of all, that is usually covered by another policy first.
Or student accident.
Coverage, yep.
11.
Number 12 on that page.
Explain that again. Claims for accidental injury to teeth.
So whenever there's an accident, there's usually other insurance that comes in to play first.
Like the medical insurance?
You're not necessarily medical insurance, but if it's an accident, might have been you had an accident, teeth were damaged due to a car accident.
So we're not talking about trip, fall, and broke your teeth on this concrete.
We're talking about, they looked at other places called coordination benefits.
Did we cover that?
Like, I think so.
You got
Yes,
little Johnny
that's
running.
it.
I can say based on my daughter, yes, she did.
Say what?
Based on my daughter, yes, she did.
So that's what
I think it's really.
She got a perfect, she got a perfect triangle out of two teeth.
Uh-huh.
It was
Is
a
this
whole
something in the
triangle.
classroom?
No,
We had that happen a
It's a
couple
whole-
of times at the high school where a kid just fell in gym class.
And that our student accident insurance would be what we would go to first there. for that.
We have turned claims in.
We have.
But I don't think it.
I don't know, could we specify that, that it'll be covered if there's no other available insurance?
Yeah, I think that's covered under coordination of benefits. Page 6. I apologize.
There's things you need to know if they actually will or will not before you move on with this.
Okay, so I'm looking at page 6, which is the draft for discussion. And what number are you looking at?
Number 12.
It's in
Page
the
11.
new plan,
Exclusions.
yes. I think
Oh.
so.
Number 12.
And then the other one is emergency prescriptions or other drugs and or medications.
Okay, 2.
Yeah.
You have to have antibiotics,
When you,
right, because they won't touch it until you've had antibiotics.
From emergency.
I consider that.
This is the one that we're looking at, is the one that our attorney.
So shouldn't we have maybe somebody look at this, like a dentist?
Try to look at it. What the expense is not covered.
Yeah.
More of that piece.
Yeah.
Is that a combination of what we had before? I mean, we had an attorney to look at the language and all, just.
Right,
Yeah,
That's
but
what
an
I'm
attorney's not a dentist.
I know for that.
Or an orthodontist.
It's not covered.
They do insurance contracts. That's what they do.
page 11, number 12 was claims for accidental injury to teeth, and then the emergency prescriptions was number 22 on page 12.
Emergency prescriptions or other things.
I mean, sometimes,
What constitutes an emergency though?
well, you crack your tooth.
I mean, if I have a root problem, it feels like an emergency.
Yeah.
No, root canals, no.
No, I mean, like,
There's a piece in
Yeah.
there.
No,
like a prescription plan. mean,
well, I don't know, Mike.
Yeah, no, your prescription plan would cover it.
Yeah, it would cover that.
Usually the only medications covered are what they give you during surgery or getting a tooth filled, that kind of thing.
Oh, it should be submitted to the case, so claims for the accidental injuries, number 13.
Oh, it's number
The
12 on
page-
my copy.
On page 7,
Looking up the original document.
Oh.
Where it came from,
Yeah, the claims for accidental injury to teeth should be submitted to the medical plan for consideration, was my original wording, she changed it.
So I guess if you submit, I get to you submit it, and then maybe, and if it's not covered, what happens?
Then we will pick, then it'll be covered.
yeah, then that
Can
needs
it
to be
say it that
specific.
way?
Does it say that? though?
No.
No, it doesn't. It says claims for accidental injury to teeth, period.
That was one of the changes that the attorney.
But maybe if emergencies not covered by medical or other insurance will be covered.
Because if it isn't documented, then it won't be covered.
No.
It's kind of.
You're out.
To their heart.
Yeah, you're
Is
out.
there any of the other ones that's not covered? That's lunch worried about.
I mean, I've never had tea and
And the
gin.
emergency prescriptions
I don't
drugs
know.
we're talking about, that is really because that's covered under your medical insurance.
TMJ can be very, very painful and sometimes it requires surgery.
It says guards.
Guard does just so you don't, yeah, so they relax at night. You ever seen those? They're awful.
Those things keep you
For
from
thumb
running.
suckers, no, they're spikes.
Yes. No, there was,
Barbaric.
I never had them.
We can make a clarification on that one for that next. Just say that. Submitted medical records.
But were we going to have dentists, some dentists that were going to be on this committee that?
Review.
Yeah, I think if we just had individual, like a regular, like a general dentist, an orthodontist, an endodontist, maybe surgeon.
Get involved in that, that was.
I mean, we have, I know, because I know we've had some dentists that spoke to us here, and then I know there are some that reached out to Whitney personally. So, you know, they would, and I know I talked to a few that, I mean, I could make a copy and have them look it over and see what they think.
And then I had,
It's on the public website too.
Okay.
No, the Christian committee, I was
Some of the
thinking
ones
it would be.
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Like
There
the
was.
business that you were in contact with, you get on there, remember they were having conference, maybe share it with them. See if you can-
She just wasn't allowed to address the whole conference.
Right.
Maybe.
But we can talk to individual, I don't know why we couldn't talk to individual practitioners.
It'd be good to have them together.
Yeah, in different fields of practice.
That come in together and see.
Well, that's the problem we're getting, is everybody has different schedules.
and trying to get them all together. And so that's why we've been trying to get conferences, because we're the large majority of this together.
People there, yeah. I think there are enough people that'd be willing, even if they didn't do it all together, they could still look it over and pass along notes and.
Then I had a question on contact lenses. I don't know, does anybody else wear contacts around here?
The contact and vision pieces did not change.
It's not changed, because it says up to 160 per person every 12 months. And contacts are gonna be $500 a year.
What kind are you wearing?
I have to have every day.
Oh,
I have, single company. So I changed that one.
I have to.
I thought it was 155.
I just do.
I wear
I mean, is
mine
that,
for my-
is that
for my-
typical?
Our original
Yeah.
plan.
That's not typical.
I mean, is
How
that
many you, how much you spend on?
$500?
Actually, that's actually.
You have princess contacts.
Here's the original.
Those are X-rays.
There's the original plan that we currently.
It's pretty close, yeah, because I remember getting like 150.
I was thinking 150.
That's why I had to pass off. I had to pass it.
But I'm retired 4 years ago.
All right, so let's get back on track.
Okay.
So if there's a couple questions that we still have to answer, then I say we leave it tabled at this point and then bring it back. And because we would have had to approve to get it in place by June 1st. We would have had, or was July 1st, June 30th, we would have had one more.
Yeah, we bring it back after we review it for the next meeting and then try. Yeah.
Which
The
would
goal
go
is
out
to
to
do
bid.
July
Is that
1.
what you're
Go out to
saying?
We have
yes.
to have a plan before we can go out.
Yes,
to bid.
yeah, that's,
Yes.
yes, we want to finalize the plan, then it goes out to bid. I'm thinking of open enrollment, when we can have the open enrollment. We have to have the administrator first.
We have, we could send it out because we could actually send open enrollment through, June. This is ours.
Take it along.
It's ours.
We were
Still open
hoping
at July 1.
We were hoping that whenever, Mrs. Jones was out in the schools, that you guys approved the plan, and she could tell people the major points, additional changes to it.
I think it's close. I mean, I like it. I don't think it's bad.
No, and I like the fact that it's uniform now. You know, this is how much you pay, we don't have to worry about discounts.
So-
and-
Is there some specific points that we need to look at specifically other than the accident?
That was the only one that just stood out.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think once we get that, some feedback from Dennis, because maybe there's something that's a little bit more common that we're not aware of, that they think should be covered, or maybe something doesn't need covered as much as we have, so. Yeah, let the professionals deal with it.
have the eye doctors looked at this, or is this?
I think that didn't change.
That didn't change.
My
Okay.
sheets didn't change because it was pretty,
It was only, we only paid up for.
except for the LASIK surgery
That was
Yeah,
just
that's-
something that
was added.
I knew that a lot of our staff would probably go through and have it. And I talked to people.
I don't remember seeing a whole lot. Is there anything in here about, I don't think I saw it, but braces or anything along those lines?
Orthodontic, except for there was a $50 deductible for the orthodontist was paying up to $2,000. And I'm like, well, that's kind of silly. So we moved it, and that's what a lot of plans are doing now.
So there's no.
No, because they only paid up to $2,000. I know when I could have braces, it was way more than $2,000.
Oh, yeah. It's 6 minimum now.
Yeah, so
All right, well, let's find out that information and then bring it back on the 15th. Okay,
Do we need a motion to table?
yes,
Okay,
we have a motion open right now, so just rescind the motion. Who made the motion?
I was the second.
You made the motion.
I think so.
You rescind the motion.
Okay, I would like to rescind this motion, please.
And now is there a motion to table?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, next, no policy updates, personnel updates. Is there a motion to accept personnel matters as presented? I have to note a recusal for the Bridgeport Middle School head coach. Oh, and yes,
Removal, section B.
Section 10.
And
Yes,
the-
one. Oh, yeah, the summer. Yes, one.
Yeah, but
Section
Academy and ESY.
There's some seniority
Seniority
concerns,
days need verified,
so we're gonna re-verify and
make sure it's correct.
Yes. I wrote it down. I
It's
did write it down.
second
You must have written it down, didn't I?
Yes.
Summer employment,
Is that for summer?
summer employment.
Yeah, it's a summer employment.
Just professional.
Section
Just
D,
D,
graduation,
okay.
Article 4.
Section B.
Is there so with additional removal of section D, is there a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I move pursuant to 69A-4 West Virginia Code that the board go into executive session to discuss personnel matters which, if discussed in public, might affect adversely the reputation of any person.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Oh, no, it's not the first one, that's great job. It's not. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, this brings us down to, sorry, we have to take the vote on the
Personnel.
personnel. So there's a motion on the floor to remove section D, and I had a recusal, section C. Is there, we have a motion on the floor, is there discussion? No discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, brings us down to property legal.
I move pursuant to 69A-4 of the West Virginia Code that the board go into executive session to consider matters involving or affecting the purchase, sale, or lease of property, advanced construction planning, the investment of public funds, or other matters involving commercial competition which may be made public, might adversely affect the financial or other interests of the Harrison County Board of Education.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to return from executive session?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, this brings us down to board member comments. Mr. Tucker?
Just to thank everybody that was here. Had to be here. And, that's it.
Mr. Hope?
It was great to recognize all the kids and all the teachers and what, they received. And for me, it was especially nice to recognize Washington Irving Middle School.
First I'd like to thank Stephanie Runyon and Alyssa Welchel for taking care of the reception for the National Board people, because I was down here and didn't get to go to the party. And I also last week got to go to see 3 of our high schools at the band concert, and then one of the middle schools, and they all did a very good job. It was a lot of fun to go.
Ms. Smith? All right, I am good as well. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Children of peace, go in peace.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.